Coming up now on Animal Outtakes. You know, I was prepared to be a little more scared. Obviously, you have us dressed for the occasion. The saying, busy as a bee, is no understatement. Honeybees are hard workers.
It takes 12 bees their entire life to fill that spoon.
And this guy was not afraid of the camera. In fact, he was tasting it. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm Marcia Panucci, and this is my trusted friend, Zeus. Do you hear that buzzing sound? It's unmistakable. A bee. And if you are like me, your response is to swat. But as I have learned, that's exactly what you shouldn't do when you're around a honeybee hive. You sure I'm not going to the moon?
Nope. We're going to go check some hives right now.
So Jim, what are we looking at here?
Well, what we've got, this black plastic bucket, is a feeder. There's not a lot of nectar sourcing right here at the house. These are all nursery bees that we've done relocations on. So we've got them here to make sure that they're healthy and strong and get them built up. We give them extra feed.
And what are those bees doing?
Depending on the time of the year, they're pollinating our crops, they're making honey. Depending on which bees we want to talk about, the queen bee all year round is pretty much laying eggs.
Now she's the real worker in this whole project, is she not?
She controls the hive by pheromones, different scents that she gives off. She also populates the hive. A queen will lay somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 eggs a day when there's lots of nectar coming in. Here you can see a queen bee right there at the corner of the tool. You can see she's significantly larger.
But is she commanding boys, girls? How does this really work?
95 to 97% of the colony is all female. The girls, when they're first born, they spend about 2 weeks cleaning the hive, taking care of the comb, taking care of new eggs, taking care of larvae, taking care of the queen, all on her commands by the pheromones that she lets out, the scents that dictate what the colony does.
And what makes a queen bee?
A queen bee is a female bee that's fertile. She can lay an egg that will develop into a worker bee. All the other girls can't do that. They can lay an egg, but it won't develop into a female worker bee.
So this is genetically predisposed?
Yes.
Okay.
In the situation where for some reason the queen has died or gotten hurt, the worker bees can make another queen by feeding it a different way than they do the workers, which allows that one bee to develop into a fertile female.
Now, you know,
then become a queen.
There is a saying, the honey-do list. What do the boys do?
When a new queen emerges, she's not yet pregnant. She'll leave the hive after she emerges in about 3 or 4 days and take a bunch of boys with her and boys from all around the area, and they go get her pregnant.
They have a good time.
Yes.
What is the average lifespan of a bee?
During a heavy nectar flow, a worker bee will live 4 to 6 weeks. They spend the first 2 weeks in the hive taking care of chores. The rest of their life, they spend going out and foraging, going out and finding nectar, going out and finding pollen, and harvesting it and bringing it back to the colony.
Are they a smart insect?
They can actually work out to about 5 miles away from the colony. And when they come back, they do what's called a dance. By a series of turns, circles and wiggles actually give directions to the other bees for good nectar sources.
And how does this all fit into the ecosystem of our world? Why is this really important?
Well, if the bees go, we go. The bees are responsible for a vast majority of our pollination for our food crops. Honey is the only insect feed, because honey is the bees' feed, that's actually consumable by humans.
Now, Jim, all of these honeys that we're going to get to taste now, I can't wait, this is indigenous to this particular area, correct? The west coast of Florida.
Absolutely.
So will I be able to tell what I'm really tasting, or is honey, honey?
Oh, you'll be able to tell.
Okay, let's go.
All right, start with something that a lot of people are not familiar with. Brazilian pepper.
Okay.
From that invasive tree that everybody hates so much here.
Very sweet, very mellow, very nice. Okay, and what's our next one?
Saw palmetto.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
This is from the oldest plant in Florida. The saw palmetto grows and lives to be about 400 years old.
This is like champagne. This is it.
that is a very, very mild honey.
Yes, this is delicious. You know, Jim, I thought I was going to be more frightened about this. Obviously, I'm dressed correctly. I'm with you. Do you think I'd make a good beekeeper?
Oh, I think we can make you into a beekeeper.
Okay. Honey can help when you're feeling under the weather. And honey can be used to ease a cough and soothe any throat irritation. The buzz is honey has antioxidants that help fight off viruses. Get ready to get up close to this carnivore. Let's hope he doesn't think that the camera is food.
This is a monitored lizard. They're a lot different from iguanas or the lizards you would see in Florida. This tail is very strong. It's used as the weapon. They'll slap you with it. They'll slap prey with it. They'll do whatever they can. It will not come off.
Many active duty servicemen and women face a dilemma as they prepare for deployment. Who will look after their canine companion until they return? Dantes Den provides temporary boarding for their dogs as they serve. We honor the trust placed in us by members of the armed forces by giving their furry friends loving care, spacious dens, on-site veterinary care, and plenty of room to run and play. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call 844-DANTES-DEN.
People have asked me what it'll cost to restore all the corals back the way they remember. But I have to ask them, what will it cost if we don't do anything?
Juicy sizzling steak, ice cold drinks, over $3,000 in raffle prizes, and wagging tails? That's right, Polo Grill and Bar is hosting Tips for Tails. So bring your canine companion out for a party on October 11th from 5:30 to 9:30. Enjoy happy hour prices with celebrity bartenders, a canine kissing booth, and over $3,000 of raffle prizes. 100% of all tips go directly to care for the lovable pups at Dantes Den.
The crested caracara is listed in Florida as threatened. Their numbers have declined due to many factors, including illegal hunting. Help support efforts to eliminate the threat of illegal hunting, not just for birds of prey such as the caracara, but for all wildlife. Always alert authorities if you see people hunting illegally, or if you see wildlife parts, such as feathers, being sold illegally.
Welcome back. When you live in Florida, lizards are what you see every day when you go outside. They are about this big, and that's what I thought I was going to meet and learn about. A lizard. I should have known my friends at Crocstar TV had a much bigger idea. You always bring us interesting friends, Troy.
Fun friends.
Yeah, this is Dozer.
This is Dozer.
And what is he?
Dozer is a black-throat monitor. They're native to Tanzania.
Oh, well, he's taken a long trip over here.
He has.
Invasive to Florida?
Not at all.
How did he get here?
Probably in the pet trade. These guys are bred and shipped over. You can import these. So they'll bring little ones over as babies and people raise them. They're actually a very docile lizard, to say the least. They're big and they're bulky, but they're friendly. They're friendly.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they make great, if you like the monitor lizards, they make great pets.
The black-throated monitor gets his name, well, you guessed it, from the color of his throat. They have a strong body and powerful legs, and those claws can be used to even climb trees.
This is a monitor lizard. They're a lot different from iguanas or the lizards you would see in Florida. This tail is very strong. It's used as the weapon. They'll slap you with it. They'll slap prey with it. They'll do whatever they can. It will not come off. These tails don't come off and grow back like the iguanas do. It's got a full bone structure all the way through it. It's actually like a dinosaur. Really solid weapon. Real big, firm weapon. They will. They're opportunistic. So if he's out walking around in my yard or in Tanzania and he finds something edible, he will tear it up. Anything he can find, even if it's rotted. If they'll come across a rotted animal that's been laying there for a couple days, the stinkier the better. They will eat it like there's no tomorrow.
Now, how big would you say he is? Because even this tail is heavy.
He's just about pushing 4 feet now.
Wow.
And how can you not notice that tongue? Dozer was certainly interested in our camera.
Now, the little tongue that kind of keeps coming out, do we need to be aware of that? Do we need to
That's
be
the same.
afraid of that?
He's testing the air. He's licking his surroundings. That's connected to their brain the same way your nose is, just like theirs. So he's using it like a snake. He's just testing the air, tasting, seeing what's around him. He's just adapting to his environment and checking it all out. It's just his form of being safe, tasting and touching.
That's right, a monitor's tongue can taste and smell. It's very sensitive. With every flick, he's picking up scents in the air. This is what helps him locate his prey. An organ on the roof of his mouth analyzes the scents he picks up. A black-throated monitor is a popular reptile in the pet trade. These lizards are appealing due to their size and their personalities.
They're very conditional to their environment. So if you're very calm and passive with them, they very rarely bite. Blackthroats are known for their disposition. They're just big, gentle giants.
Well, he is just adorable. He's so handsome. It makes you appreciate our little Florida lizards, doesn't it, Zeus? Monitor lizards, if raised and handled properly, can make very good pets. But as always, do your research before you buy. And here's another interesting lizards fact. Monitor lizards don't chew their food. Unlike you and I, these lizards swallow their prey whole. Our next guest might just waddle right into your heart. Dr. Don is up next with the Pet of the Week. Every dog deserves a lifelong loving home. Dantes Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. Every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Find your new furry best friend at Dantes Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call 844-DANTES-DEN.
It's a dangerous habit. Texting and driving kills thousands each year. Join ABC7 and take the No Text Zone pledge.
Hi, I'm Melissa with Venice Toyota, encouraging you to help us keep the Suncoast safe by making the pledge to not text and drive. Save a life, stop by Venice Toyota today and take the pledge to not text and drive, and register to win a $100 gift card to Capitol Grill.
Take the pledge, save a life. Go to mysuncoast.com for more information.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
It never ceases to amaze me the different kinds of animals out there that can make a good pet, but for the right person, of course. It's not just cats and dogs anymore.
Okay.
Well, Dr. Don, we have one beautiful little girl here, and then a baby just this morning, did you say?
No, this morning, 6 at 6 a.m., we're calling him Goosifer. She wants to call him Flip-Flop, but I think, look at him, demonic.
Oh, my goodness.
Goosifer, they're too cute, which is why people should never get them, because they're too cute. Don't look at their cute little eyes. Don't look at their daffodil yellow, their fluff, their fuzz, their cuteness. You'll be mesmerized, and you'll be sucked into buying one of these things.
Well, I think we would all be. Now, this little girl here, she is gorgeous, and I don't ever remember seeing, Dr. Don, the pompadour.
There it is. This is a crested Pekin duck. That's Pekin without the G. And, by the way, every white Pekin duck that you'll ever see came in the United States about 100 years ago. There's a tourist over in China who thought no one ever seen them before. They thought they were some kind of miniature goose. And he brought like 2 dozen of them via clipper ship across the world, landed in Long Island, and whatever ones survived the journey bred. So everyone in the United States came from China about 100 years ago via a clipper ship. Then they kind of inbred, and they got this little bouffant thing, and this one originally had its crest so over the side it damaged his eyes. So I did a surgery and had a little plastic surgery on his crest, and they tamed down. And you know, you're always going to ask, do they make a great pet? The answer is, well, kind of, sort of, not really. I mean, if you have an outdoor, they don't make a good indoor pet. They're ducks.
Yes.
They, like the guinea pig, hard little football type turds, these are ducks, okay? They're splashy and they like to swim. And so if you have a yard, if you have a water feature or something, that's fine. They kind of worry all your plants. So if you have a yard, if you live in an apartment in New York City, not such a good pet. But if you live in suburbia and you're allowed to have them, some places you're not allowed them.
Yes.
Do your research.
Yes.
Don't want to get in trouble with the law.
Now, this duck can swim, so you put it in a body of water and it will swim.
They need to swim. Matter of fact, if you live in an area where you can't, well, first you should have a duck if you live in an area. But say if in rehabilitation or something, if you don't have a water feature, a pond for them to swim in, you hose them off every day. They got to be wet. They have to comb their feathers or else they lose their watertight integrity. They'll jump into water and sink. And you don't want that. No.
But they can fly.
They can fly, not the greatest flyers in the world, kind of like throwing a football. And which makes you believe, too, if you're going to get a pet duck, you get a Pekin duck. You don't get, try to catch a wild duck. Or a Muscovy duck. They make a great little pet, too, if you like warty, weird, big ducks that can make a mess. But say, like a mallard or something like that, if you come across a wild little thing or a whistling duck, or a wood duck. There are many kinds of ducks that are beautiful. But the wild ducks are truly wild. They're high-strung, and they do not make a good pet. They'll just trash themselves every time a shadow comes overhead. They'll think they're going to be eaten, and it's like a wild rabbit. They do not make a good pet.
And what do we feed Miss Pompadour here?
They are complete and balanced rations for duck. They are ground, whatever. It's not, not just corn. It's a complete balance, like Flock Razor. They have different names for them, different brands, and they like to eat off of a tray. They do this little shovelly motion, and same with their water. They should have fresh water. They just need to get sunlight.
But now let's look at the little guy. Now,
the little
cute.
Guy, little Goosifer.
Yeah, oops, whoop,
look,
there you go.
It's not going to hurt you.
And there was no hurting, I have to say.
If you want it, you can make him. You can say, "Oh, it hurts so much," just to make him feel good. Like when a canary bites me.
Sure.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but a canary has got a little bit of a bite. But here, now, little Goosifer here is brown and yellow. Absolutely, positively adorable. Will those be the colors at the time of maturity?
No, they change. No, they're like they're like koi. Their color isn't set until they're a little more mature.
Well, he's
kind of deceitful a little bit.
He's absolutely adorable. They couldn't be any more adorable. Yes. Okay, now I got you. Now I got what you're doing. Okay, see? All right.
They also have a very, very good eyesight to make a good watch animal.
Okay.
Like when I lived on a farm once and people were afraid of my geese, they would not, my dogs would just like sleep there, but people would not want to come out of a car. They would honk their horn and roll down the windows. Come here, darling.
Somebody you can truly play with here. Well, Dr. Don, we can't thank you enough for this wonderful interview with Miss Pompadour and Guccifer.
Bouffant.
Ducks are also a fairly inexpensive pet to own. Food for them is relatively cheap. And they can also keep your grass trimmed for you because they love to eat their greens. Have a pet question? Ask the Vet is up next.
Juicy sizzling steak, ice cold drinks, over $3,000 in raffle prizes, and wagging tails? That's right, Polo Grill and Bar is hosting Tips for Tails. So bring your canine companion out for a party on October 11th from 5:30 to 9:30. Enjoy happy hour prices with celebrity bartenders, a canine kissing booth, and over $3,000 of raffle prizes. 100% of all tips go directly to care for the lovable pups at Dantes Den.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Thanks for joining us. Here's Dr. Benson, and today we're going to talk with Dr. Alan Glassman about neutering and spaying. Should we really do it? It is very important that you have your animals neutered or spayed, dogs and cats. Dr. Glassman, lead us through it.
Okay, well, certainly a very important topic and something that we learned about in vet school, probably our first year. The importance of spaying, which means basically a hysterectomy, a complete hysterectomy for a female where they remove the ovaries and the uterus in general. There are some people now that are just thinking just to remove the ovaries, but that's another controversial issue. Basically, a spay is an ovariohysterectomy. The ovaries and the uterus are removed, and usually as a young dog, somewhere in general between 4 to 6 months of age, because what I was taught in the early 80s, I'm a little bit of an old timer now, that we worry once they start going through their what's technically called estrus cycle or their heat cycles, they're basically going through puberty, and their hormones are developing their body. And just like in a woman, the breasts will develop when they go through puberty. So if you can spay, do a hysterectomy on a dog before they go through puberty, the breasts will never develop fully, and there'll be a much lower chance of breast cancer in that pet for the rest of its life. And breast cancer actually is one of the most common cancers in dogs.
Now, there was an old wives' tale years ago that if you have your animals neutered or spayed, it changes their personality. Is that a true fact?
I don't believe it changes their basic personality. Hormones do affect some aspects of behavior. I think maybe a little more for males than females because testosterones, as dogs mature and go through, again, puberty up to about a year of age, in the wild, the dominant animal is challenged in the pack by the younger animals, and testosterones are part of behavior and dominance. And sometimes when you neuter some pets when they're young enough, you may prevent some aggressive behaviors from forming because it's an evolutionary thing to challenge the leader of the pack.
So if you have a male puppy, and so many of us have had them, and they are crazy, will that neutering calm them down? Or no hope,
No.
right?
If they're a happy, crazy dog, like a nutty Labrador, I call them, if they're going to jump all over you all the time, that's basic behavior training.
That is it.
Right, but anyway, back to aging, age of neutering, that's changing a little too. Again, for females, we used to, in general, say spay between 4 to 6 months of age to prevent the breast from developing and prevent breast cancer. Same thing for puppies. Maybe to help signs of aggression later in life for a male. For castration, neutering a dog is technically, for a male, is a castration. You just remove the testicles.
And does it change? Does it change them in any way? Does it harm them? Does it shorten their life?
Yeah, people have done lots of studies on, we used to think, medically, maybe they don't develop normally because we've taken away some natural hormones. There's no significant studies I'm aware of that shows medically, although I shouldn't say that because nowadays there's a new concept in large breed dogs, maybe medium to large breed dogs, that we may delay spaying and neutering a little bit because of bone development and arthritis and certain types of diseases like knee diseases, stifle diseases, cruciate disease in dogs and large breeds, and delaying neutering a little bit, maybe till maybe a year of age. And again, veterinarians have differences of opinions on this. That again, you discuss with your veterinarian. But so medically, no, in general, they're happy, they're healthy. Actually, a lot of SPCAs and organizations like that spay all the kittens and puppies at 8 to 10 to 12 weeks of age. So when they leave the shelter, they never have to worry about them being not neutered and producing more offspring.
That's right. And that's one of the things that we all caution about, is that we kind of control that population. Great advice from the doc, as usual. We hope that you've had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. Zeus and I will be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching.
Now, to put that in perspective, it takes 12 bees their entire life to fill that spoon.
Oh! And I am drenched, so if you don't mind, get me because I've got to get out of this. Okay. I am just drenched.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you. Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.